Hello students, I'm Madam Joyce from Educare TZ. I'm teaching biology and today I'll be with you to discuss our topic, which is cytology, whereby we are going to deal with our subtopic, which is biochemistry. Reminding you, my student, we are discussing on the organic component which is found mostly within the body of living organism, and that is the carbohydrate, and specifically we are discussing on the polysaccharide. So here you can see we have another kind of polysaccharide, which is the glycogen. But in the previous session we terminate by looking on the starch and the structure which made the starch, and that is we have already seen the amylopectin and the amylose. So today we are proceeding with the another polysaccharide, and this is the glycogen. And simply we can say that glycogen is the form in which the polysaccharide is stored in animals and fungi. So it is often called an animal starch, and it is stored mainly in the liver and in the skeletal muscles. So tukija kuongelea hii structure ambayo inaitwa glycogen, inapatikana only within animals and within a fungi. Kwa maana kwamba within animals is whereby the stored starch or the stored carbohydrates, they are stored within the this form, which is the glycogen. And here we have seen that it is often known as animal starch. Why is it called animal starch? Because within it is whereby we can find a carbohydrate. There is a carbohydrate. It is stored within the glycogen, or it is termed as animal starch. So it is stored mainly in the livers and in the skeletal muscles. Kwa hii stored starch inapatikana ndani ya kwenye liver, pia kwenye skeletal muscles. Kwa sababu inapatikana ndani ya skeletal muscles? Kwenye skeletal muscles zinapatikana hizi glycogen kwa sababu we always use our skeletal for various activities, kwa sababu inatumika sana. Kwa hiyo ndio maana sasa hizi stored carbohydrate, that is glycogen, it is tend to be stored in that part. And like in the starch, it is made up of alpha molecule and exists as a granule. Structurally, it resembles amylopectin, except that it is more branched and it is more branched and its chain are shorter, that we're going to see in the figure 1.2.5. That is, ukiangalia structure ya glycogen ina mfanano mkubwa sana na structure ya starch, kwa sababu zile component zilizotumika kutengeneza structure ya starch ni zile ambazo zimetumika kutengeneza structure ya glycogen. Lakini kuna utofauti mkubwa sana kati ya ile amylopectin ya kwenye starch na amylopectin ya kwenye glycogen. Kwa maana kwamba ile amylopectin inayopatikana ndani ya glycogen, tunasema kwamba it has more branched. It is highly branched compared to that of the starch. But also it has a shorter chain. Its chains which are found within the within glycogen, it is very shorter compared to that chain which is found within the other structure of the polysaccharide. So now let's see the figure now. So my students, this is our figure 1.25 that shows the structure of a glycogen molecule. And simply you can see within the structure we have seen that it has the same structure as the amylopectin. Kwa maana kwamba inakuwa na 1,6 glycosidic bond. Lakini utofauti wake tu tuliuona ni kwamba hii glycogen yenyewe inakuwa na it has a lot of branches, and its branches, they are quite shorter compared to that of the starch. So that is the main difference. So this one is the really structure, or the structure of the glycogen molecule, which is found in the animals and in the fungi. So the glucose chain are originated globularly like branches of a tree. So they originate from the pair of molecules of a glycogen in a protein which act as a primer at the core of the structure. kwa maana kwamba hii glucose chain that organize globularly branched tree. When we say branched tree, kwa maana kwamba inakuwa na matawi mengi sana, yani ile glucose ambayo ipo ndani ya glycogen. And now here you can see it originates from the pair of a molecule of a glycogen in a protein which acts as a primer at a core structure of a glucose. And now you can see the glycogen can be converted back into its glucose when energy it is needed through the process known as glycogenesis. So tunasema kwamba hii pia glycogen inaweza ikabe hydrolyzed au pale ambapo inahitajika ndani ya mwili. So the glycogen will be broken up to its monomers or to its molecule or initial molecule, which is the glucose, so that it can be used for the body activities. So that process of metabolizing, or we can say that converting the glycogen to glucose, it is called glycogenolysis. And glycogen it is easily converted back to glucose in order to provide energy for body activities. Kwa hile glycogen inavyo be converted kwenda kupata glucose, ile glucose form ni simplest form ambapo body sasa ndipo ambapo inaweza ikachukua glucose na kuitumia kwenye matumizi mbalimbali ya mwili. And now you can see when glucose cannot be stored as a glycogen or used immediately for release of energy, it is converted into fat. Kwa sasa ile glycogen kama haitatumika ndani ya mwili kwenye muda ambao unahitajika, so ile glycogen or that unused glycogen will be converted into fat, ambapo sasa hizo fat ndizo ambazo zitaenda be stored kwenye different part of a living organism. We know that within our body we have a lot of fat, and among of those fat they come from the glycogen. They converted the glycogen into fat since they have no use within the body of a living. And also we have another polysaccharide which is called which we can be termed as the cellulose. So before restarting the cellulose, we have to recall back on the structure which is the glycogen. My student, here we have seen that in the structure of glycogen, remember the structure of glycogen imetengenezwa na kitu gani? Na je, ile structure ya glycogen ina utofauti gani na structure ya starch? Ukishajua hivyo utakuwa umekuwa na uwezo mkubwa sana wa kujibu swali lolote litakalo kuja kwenye hiyo party, either ya kwenye starch au ya kwenye glycogen. So now let's start our new thing here, that is the cellulose, which is also the polysaccharide. So this cellulose is an important structure polysaccharide of a plant which largely constitute the chemistry of the cell wall. Kwa hiyo sasa tunasema hii structure ya cellulose also ni polysaccharide, lakini sasa hii polysaccharide it is only found within a plant, specifically the structure of a plant cell wall. So it constitutes the chemistry of the cell wall. Kwa ina maana kwamba ile cell wall imetengenezwa na hii structure ambayo inaitwa cellulose, ambayo tunaita ni polysaccharide. So the cellulose it is chemically composed of several thousands of beta glucose units joined by 1,4 glycosidic bonds to form a long and branched chain. So tunasema kwamba hii structure sasa ya cellulose it is quite different from the glycogen to starch and other polysaccharide. Kwa sababu gani? Hii structure ya cellulose tunasema kwamba imetengenezwa na glucose, but the glucose which used to make this cellulose it is alpha glucose, and the bond which is formed it is the same, that is 1,4 glycosidic bond. So the structure which will be formed after the combination of 2 alpha glucose, it has the following feature. It forms a long structure, but also it is unbranched chain. It forms unbranched chain. And now you can see many chains run parallel to each other and have a cross linkage between them, we're going to see that in the figure 1.26. Kwa maana kwamba ukiangalia ile structure ya cellulose tunasema kwamba yenyewe inakuwa na many parallel structure. Let's see this first, this figure. So this one is the structure of a cellulose. As you can see, his structure of cellulose, it is highly branched due to this thing here. You can see it form a long and branched chain, a long and unbranched chain. So now you can see it is very long. Kwa ina maana huku inaendeleaga na kule itakuwa inaendelea. So and it is very long and it is formed unbranched. So yale matawi yake ni mafupi mafupi, unaweza ukaona how it is arranged. So this one is the complete structure of a cellulose, and we have seen that it form about 1,4 glycosidic bond. So this one is 1,4. This is 1,4 glycosidic bond, which is found within the structure, which is the cellulose. Here the thing that you have to not see and to keep it into your mind, what are the components which made this cellulose, and the structure of it, how is it made. Kwenye mtihani unaweza ukaletewa hivi, lakini it is not necessary for you to claim all of this. You have to know the thing that you can differentiate between cellulose with other structure which are found within the polysaccharide, which is the carbohydrate. So my student, now let's terminate here. In the next part, we're going to discuss another polysaccharide and the next kind of the polysaccharide and its function in general. Thank you for your time and for listening.